Jules 9D211 coming at you with another video. This video is gonna be probably one of the last classes. Uh, as you already see, Team DMA new members, class number 6. I don't think I'm gonna be making any more content after that regarding classes. Like, if you got it, you got it, and if you don't, you don't. The only way that these classes are gonna start back up if I get at least 10 people gathered in the channel requesting to learn. Otherwise, these classes are going to be non-existent, like kind of a thing of the past. If you notice, there is no such thing as an existing Dark Magician class. There never has been. There never will be until the future. There could be like an attempt of some classes, but they're all fake because nobody knows what they're doing, and it shows with the ban list. As soon as the ban list hit, everyone disappears. The channels go empty. People don't notice. This isn't the first time it happens. It happens every time there's a ban list with all the fake Dark Magician players. So I wanted to go over some of the things for like one of the final advanced classes of Team DMA. As always, I guarantee 100%, I stand by my word, 100% of the things that I teach you, you have never heard of them before. No one's ever going to teach them in the future. You're never going to hear them again. You live and you die. And my channel, my content, my understanding in depth, wisdom into the Dark Magician deck will not be retold again. Nobody else can touch upon it because they don't know what they're doing. Don't expect to be taught if they don't know. No one can teach you. It's like receiving $20. If people don't have $20, they can't give it to you. No one can give what they don't have. So obviously, all of this knowledge, all of these skills, all of these things that I have them. That's why I'm able to give them to you freely for free. And I was hoping to reach somewhere around 100, but there is about 25, 26 people here in my local city that I taught. But then online, I'm somewhere around 40, 42, 43 people. So at least I reached somewhere around 65 people, something like that. But I wanted to reach 100, but it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters are the results, and I accomplished my goal. I wanted to teach as many people as I could. Now, talking on the topic of advanced class, let me see here. So, people have asked me, like, how do I know that I'm ready? Or how do I know that your class is working on me? Like, how do I know the results? People have asked me. All those questions, they're good questions, And it made me, drive me to make this video to cover, because I try to cover every single area. Unlike other channels that you ask them a question and they just ghost you, they don't answer nothing. They don't answer you because they don't know. That's why they want you to shut up and just listen, not me. You can talk as much as you want, but you gotta be ready to be destroyed if your understanding is false. Freedom of speech is priority to me, but it can backfire on you because if you're fake or you're trying to outmaneuver me, you're gonna be graveyard dead in terms of your fake teachings. And that's why a lot of people don't want to deal with me, because they would just rather trick people and lie to people, but they don't want to deal with me because I'll put them on blast. So, Master Duel class, one of the final things, and like I said, I got asked the question, how do I know the improvement? How can I tell what am I looking for on the videos? Like, what's the main goal? So basically, I have a channel that says Dark Magician versus Top Tier. Those videos were uploaded with one purpose. 100% of those decks, there's nobody that exists on the planet or ever recorded in life. You won't find content like that, I guarantee it. People that go through 4 to 8 negations per turn against you, that's what those videos are. Basically, you have 5 cards, 4 get negated, you just have 1 live. And you're like, what on earth? Yeah, and I still win the duel. So, you're supposed to understand the combos, sequences as you go through the classes and learn. You're supposed to be writing it down and understanding. And then when you go and see the videos of how I destroy all the top decks that everybody says they're dangerous and they're undefeated, and I prove to you that they're all lies. All those decks are the weakest decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially like all the first YCS champion decks. And there was a nationals about a week and a few days ago, and it was a Mystic Mind deck, and just like I prophesied, it won. It won, and I was no, I don't remember if I see it first place or first place. I'm sorry, first place, or it took the championship. I don't remember. I was reading an article on it, and the article, everyone was hating on it. Basically, they were angry that it did good and that it went undefeated. And it's funny because that version of the deck, that's the version that I told everyone that I played against. That's the updated version. And people didn't believe me. And then when I came to my channel, I showed them the video, which I uploaded last week. That is that version. It's the YCS champ, the nationals. There's like nothing higher than that. Those are the most powerful. They went undefeated. And that profile, like every single card in that deck, those were the cards that the guy played. And he played them all like in the first 3 or 4 turns because he was just chaining to draw. And he played 100% all those cards. And what I did was I beat him with one of my weaker Dark Magician decks. And people tell me all the time, why do you keep calling your deck weaker? Well, because since you spend too much time with your fake Dark Magician teachers, in my channel, I've already told people I have more than 26 different Dark Magician styles. So probably somewhere around 6 of them are top tier style. And then I have 3 decks that I don't showcase to no one. They're my personal decks. So a lot of people think that the decks that I'm showcasing and burning people with, once in a while, I'll showcase one of my tier 0 decks, but I don't show the profile. And basically those decks are hyper locked down and they're not affected by basically anything. And those are the decks that I play against some of the tier 0 decks, the ones that are undefeated. And I just completely obliterate those decks. But in that video, you're gonna notice that the Mystic Mind that I uploaded, it's that one that no one could beat. The guy surrendered like immediately. He didn't even want to deal with me. And that's not even my powerful Dark Mission deck. That's one of the weak versions. And I was able to destroy him like nothing. And a lot of people tell me like, oh, you're such a liar. And I tell them, no. Rewind the video and look at it again. There was 4 to 5 negations per turn against me, and I only had 5 cards. So if my 5 cards got negated, why did I win? And then when I ask the people that question, they disappear. Like they don't want to answer it. They don't know the answer. So they crawl back to their fake hole of Dark Magician teachers and whatever. They go back to the fake channels, and over there, you don't even find the word Mystic Mind in their mouth. Nobody even says Mystic Mind. None of the Dark Magicians say Mystic Mind or dueling against Mystic Mind decks. It's like it doesn't exist. It's like never talking about food. Like it's like taboo. Nobody talks about it, and people wonder like why. The answer is because the moment you bring that deck up all the Dark Mission community is gonna be angry because nobody can beat it. And on my channel, like from 1 to 10, Mystic Mine is categorized like a level 2. Even that profile, I'm being honest, like this isn't a joke. The deck that no one can beat in the whole entire world, the one that all the Dark Missions are afraid of, that deck in my channel is categorized as a level 2. There's level 10 decks, and that one's level 2. I don't categorize it to level 1 because it can establish 4 to 6 negations per turn, so I rank it a little bit higher than the cheapest. And people tell me, like, what are you talking about? Yeah, they surrender. Like, if the deck was able to go one-on-one, I would rank it higher, but they just all surrender against me. So it's like, it's not my fault that those decks suck, and it's not my fault that you suck and you can't beat it. That's not my fault. That's your problem. So, to answer the question is back to what I was saying. How? What is the results? How do you know? What are you guys supposed to be looking through the videos? You have to go to my YCS champion tier zeros. All of them undefeated first place decks. It's all organized for you. You don't have to do nothing. I did all the work for you. I defeated all those decks for you that nobody else in the world can defeat with Dark Magician easily. And I organized them for you so you can watch them while you eat popcorn. Like, to people, those decks are scary and they're nowhere. To me, they're trash, all of them. It's like having diamonds and people can't find them or whatever. For me, they're just all thrown on the floor, or just give them away to the homeless. Like, they're not special to me. They're worthless. So I organized all the duels in order, and you watch them. So when you watch those duels, you should no longer be guessing what I'm doing. You should be able to understand what's going on. So an advanced player, I'm going to show you what it's like to be an advanced player. So the guy plays Mystic Mine and he establishes 4 negations on the turn, and you draw 6. So you have to forget about 4 of your cards. Only 2 cards are live and everything else is going to be negated. And then when you go again, there's going to be, instead of 4 negations, there's 5 now. So do the math if you went to school. So you had 6, 4 negated, you only have 2. And then from the 2 cards, when you go again, you're going to draw, it's going to be 3, right? Now he's going to increase it to 4 to 5 negations. So now you need 2 more cards to break out. So the question is, how is it that every card that is being negated that I have, and then on top of that, I need more cards? And even in the future, before I draw them, I don't even have them in my hand. I'm already top decked. He's already negated the future 3 cards, and I haven't even drawn them. How do I win? And that's what people can't answer. Everybody ghosts me. Like, everyone just disappears like they died. There's no existing Dark Mission channel that can answer it. Nobody wants to come to my channel. Everybody leaves. As soon as I ask that question, everybody's either dead or they just disappeared. They left planet Earth. I'm just by myself. And the answer is actually very simple, because those decks are actually extremely cheap, weak. The answer is because they're weak. They're strong against you. Against me, they're extremely weak. So there's a sequence pattern. So if you made it this far in the video, listen to this, because you'll never hear this said again as long as you live. But it also applies to everything in the planet Earth. So playing a Yu-Gi-Oh deck against a top tier, like tier 0, that it's undefeated, that the odds are against you like 99.9. You shouldn't be able to win. It's like steering a car. So if you steer the deck into the road, you're gonna arrive at your destination. But the negations and everything that your opponent is doing, is making the road have wild turns, like to the left and to the right, and if you get out of the road, you fall into a canyon and die, like uh, a mountain, a mountain road, like going up in the mountains. Left is death, right is death. The only way to live is to stay on the road. So what you do with the Dark Magician deck is you have to steer. So if the card's gonna go to the right, you have to steer to the left. And if the deck wants to go to the left, you have to steer to the right, like counter steer against the way it's pulling you. And what you're doing is you're steering the deck to stay on the road so that you can win. And that is the goal of my mastery class that I'm trying to teach you. You have to learn that when your opponent is negating everything, they're gonna be pulling you to the right, and you have to steer the deck to the left to counter steer. So you're steering the deck to stay on the road. And the question is, and what is the purpose of staying on the road? Because the road represents victory. Because um, you're moving forward, and your destination arrival is victory, championship. So a lot of people, what they do is they don't understand that parable. Like they've never even heard of it. They don't even know what I'm talking about. Like a lot of people are just gonna leave because that just blew their mind. Like they don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm talking in an alien language. No, I'm not. It's a lie. This is basic knowledge. Everything that exists in your life is the same. You're steering against drugs, steering against bad women, steering against bad jobs, steering against bad pay. You're counter steering against bad health, bad hygiene, even your friendships, food. You just don't notice because a lot of people are not that smart. The people who teach you, they don't know nothing, so you're not being taught anything. Everything that has to do with you as a living person, you're counter steering, or at least you should be counter steering against the bad to stay in the victory path. And that's why a lot of the poor and the crybabies, they don't steer correctly, so all they do is they just cry until one day obviously they die. But the successful are different. We steer, counter steer, and we stay in victory, and we're a handful, only a few. So the Dark Magician deck is the same way. When you watch me duel, you should be able to tell which way I should counter steer. Like, oh, they negated these 4 cards, then I should utilize this, steer in this direction, counter steer, use the effect in the graveyard. If the card was negated, does it have a second effect? The cards I drew, can I draw more? From the cards I draw, what is the best option to steer? Should I go on offense or should I go on defense? And you see, that's what you don't know. That's what I have to teach you. And the answer is you shouldn't always go on offense. Sometimes you gotta switch to defense. Sometimes you can't switch in all the time to defense. You gotta go to offense. You have to know how to counter steer properly. So the deck wants to go into tier 0 style, but your opponent shuts it down. Then the deck goes into tier 1 style, but your opponent shuts that down. Then you have to go into the meta style, and then from the meta you switch back. You switch back with the defense. You bump up a rank to top tier 1, and like that. And then once the negations and the fire is over, then you counter steer as hard as you can, and you turn the tide on your opponent. Now it's his turn to counter steer his deck to survive. And guess what? Out of my whole life in existence, I've never seen no one that could do it. No one can do that. So people are like, why? Why? Because their teachers, they don't teach them that. There's no teachers that teach that. So like their teachers, when they die, they're never going to be taught that. And then them, when they die, no one taught them that. And then like the generations keep happening like that. No one's teaching no one anything. Everybody's just going out by their feelings and whatever. And that's not going to work. You need results. So that's the answer. you have to know how to counter steer against going into a loss. Because generally speaking, most of the Dark Magician players are like 100%, not 99, 100%. Everybody knows. I know because I don't even teach these, and these people come to my channel to tell me. I already know, but they come to tell me I don't play Dark Magician because of the dead hand. What does that sound to you? To you? To me, when they tell me that, that's a sign that whoever's teaching them is worthless, and also them, they don't know how to play Dark Magician. I don't need to talk anymore. I don't need to answer anything. It's already a red flag. They're indicating that they suck, and whoever's teaching them sucks too. So they don't know that. They don't know that I know that, but I already know. They hung themselves. So then, what do I teach? I teach even if you have dead hands, and then I back up what I say. I'll go against YCS and I'll purposely set up my hand to be dead bricks, and I still win the duel. Because you're supposed to be utilizing the brick hand to unbrick and make plays. This is a teaching called no excuses, no results, no crying. And this should be a behavioral pattern of men, because women go the other way. Instead of solving the problem, they'll just cry and complain. But for me specifically, I'm a man. I can't be a woman. I have to be a man. So the men don't fix things like that. We just deal with what we got, and there is no excuses, only results. And then I produce success. So 10 people play my deck, and we have 30 duels. Everyone wins 5 duels, and they lose all the other 25 duels. And me, I just lose 3 duels. So then the question is, why is that? Why did I get such a high percentage of wins when they couldn't? And the answer is because I just answered it. Because when they got brick hands, or when they didn't get a good hand, they all surrendered. They didn't play through. They didn't trust in their skills. They didn't steer the deck. And they automatically assume, oh, because I won 27 duels, maybe not in a row, but I won 27 duels, he must have dueled against weak decks. Wrong. The decks that I dueled are more stronger than the ones you dueled against. You dueled against easy decks. If I would have done your duels, I would have gone undefeated. So you lost to the weaker decks. So you have to be able to know when to win with brick hands. You have to be able to win when you're getting everything negated. You should win when you're gonna win. You see what I mean? Like, no matter the results, you have to win. Bad hand, you should win. Brick hands, you should win. They negate everything, you should win. What about when you're gonna win? You should win. And people are like, that sounds stupid. What do I mean you should win and you should win? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to put into your head. You should always win. When you win, you should win. When you're gonna lose, you should win as well. So, a lot of people forget, every deck has a top tier hand, in case you didn't know that. And then every deck has a dead hand. People don't believe that. I told that to someone and he's all like, yeah, you're lying. I was like, no, I'm not. Sometimes you could duel against a deck and the guy could have 10 wins in a row. When you duel against him, you break his streak. He might have drawn those dead hands. He can make it work, but your deck might have drawn the top tier hand. Because even in my build, sometimes I get super top tier broken hands, and that's like 100% win rate. And at another time, I don't get super broken hands. And those, like out of 10 duels, I might have 3 of those hands. And out of those 3 hands, I might only lose 1. You see what I mean? You're supposed to be able to win even with those bad hands. And that's what people are not able to do. So some of the people to begin with, all their hands that they draw, 10 hands, all of them are dead hand bricks. And at that point, the fault is of the duelist and the one who taught you. Both of you suck. So a deck is supposed to semi-break at a low percentage, like somewhere around 10%. But when it does that, you're supposed to win those duels too. And that's why I uploaded some duels, because I knew people were going to attack me for what I said. So I hung everybody. What I did was I uploaded videos where I purposely made none of my cards be live. Like, you just end your turn, there's no cards in the field, nothing. And I still won the duel. And then when I ask people how did I win it, they ghost me. Everyone disappears because they don't know. So the answer is, win even when you're gonna lose. Never give up. Push yourself. Look at the deck, see the sequences, know how to steer the deck. And that is the answer to the question that everybody's asking me. Like, what am I striving for? What is going on? How do I know? And I just gave you the answer. You're supposed to win with good hands, and you're supposed to also win almost all your duels, like at least 90% of your duels, if you get bad hands. And then sometimes your hand is bad, but you can turn it into a top tier hand. But because you don't have the skills, you can't do it. And that's why some of my duels, I draw 5, all 5 are dead. But then from the 5 dead, I'll discard a card because it says to discard. So I discard, and when I do it, I send it to the graveyard, then something becomes live. Then when it becomes live, I'll trigger the other card, draw, then the card will make me draw, and the rest of the cards become live, and then I open the field. You see what I mean? It's like, no excuses, only results. Dead hands, I should win. And one of my best duels that I had that I posted, I dueled against like a 16 win streak, singles, not full matches, but the guy claimed he had like singles 16. And I drew five cards. Actually, I drew 6, and the guy had established his board, and he had 2 negations. So I drew 6, and they were all dead. So I played a card to discard, and then he negated it. Then after that, I made another card live. I played it, and it negated it too. So like he negated, I had 6 dead cards, and even through the dead cards, he negated the dead hands. Like the hands already dead. He didn't need to negate me, and he just negated me anyways. And guess what? That duel, the guy summoned 3 Dragoon against me. And believe me or not, ask me and I'll show you the video. I still beat that deck. I still beat it. So that goes to show you that the people are the ones that don't know how to duel. The people that are teaching people don't know how to duel. Most of the community doesn't even have videos that take 2 to 3 negations per turn, and nobody wonders why. And here I try to only upload all of those because that is just the basic. It doesn't mean I'm good. It's just the standard. Now, whenever I go through like 3 or 4 per turn or 8, then that's different. That's like tier 0 style. And I have those videos. And for the end of this class, I'm going to upload some of those where I lost because a lot of people don't believe me. Like there was a guy saying, no, it's because of all the duels that you're doing, you're rigging. Somebody told me you pay people to lose. Like, what the heck? They're weirdos. So I'm going to be uploading some of the losses with my deck so that you see. They're going to be having 7 negations per turn. Obviously, if I would have gone first, I would have won. But because they have 7 and I went first, sometimes I lose. People don't believe me. Like, when did I tell anyone I don't lose? That's a lie. I said I lose 20% of my duels, didn't I? So I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the losses so that you see for yourself. But but with that, you guys, haven't been said, that the video's gone long enough. But truthfully, like I just finished watching the video, guys. Please, any questions or concerns, ask. And then from that, on top of that, just if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. You're supposed to be winning most of your duels, even when you get bad hands. And the whole goal is that when you see my videos and you see me dueling, you should be able to tell what I'm doing and how to steer the deck. Okay, so having that said, you guys, dark magic attack.